Zealand.
That's right. It's noon in New Zealand. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
5 o'clock here.
1 o'clock, but changed it. Yeah.
And I got so excited and frustrated, or got that flustered there with the start of going live that I forgot to hit the recording button, and that's okay because us being able to, I hit it now though, so we're recording.
Yeah.
And so it is just incredible to me that we can be sitting here and talking together, and you're literally on the opposite side of the planet.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, technology is fantastic. I wish I was better with it. I'm a bit computer phobic, but yeah, it's quite amazing to be able to do this.
Yes, and it's kind of funny. Something just came to my brain cell, and that is that they say you can't live in yesterday, and you can't live in tomorrow, so you got to live today. Right? Well,
Yeah.
what we're doing right now is we're living in tomorrow.
So that means I'm living
tomorrow. Because your date today, you're the 5th of October, right?
The 5th, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's Saturday.
On the 5th of October.
Yeah.
So hey, eat that one, kids. We are working in today or yesterday. No. Tomorrow.
I feel like I'm in an alternative world or something, I think they call it.
It's like something out of Back to the Future. She's in the future.
Really. I love that movie. It was such a clever movie.
Oh, I love it. Okay, kids. Well, we are the Kong family. We're here to change the world. One glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen water, 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box. One awesome guest, and one family at a time. And today we have Terry Binding, the lovely, incredible, amazing Terry Binding coming into the show to share with us her incredible journey. And I am so excited to hear it. And she's from New Zealand. And I would imagine that everything is always great in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, except it's miserable today and we get our earthquakes. Other than that, it's quite pretty.
I really can't wait to come to New Zealand. I'm looking forward to that.
Do that. And then go to Australia as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go to both of those places. I'm real excited about doing that.
Yeah.
So, Terry, this is the same question I always ask everybody that comes on here.
Yeah.
How, when, and why did you get involved with Kangen water? And were you the skeptic that I was?
Okay, how, when, and why? Basically, I was trolling through Facebook and whatever and things like that, and this advertisement came up, and it was a woman and she was talking and I didn't quite understand what she was talking about, but it's really weird. I mean, they always say, it's meant to be. Well, it was meant to be, because I contacted her and I said, what are you talking about? Because she was in a company called Gaz at the time, and she didn't mention Enagic at all, and I thought, what is she talking about? And I asked her that, and anyway, long story short, she eventually started to tell me about the water, and I was really skeptical. I was like, oh yeah, right, water, yeah, sure. I have been drinking filtered water for years. What are you talking about? And it hasn't done anything. And she sort of said, yeah, I know everyone says that, but water, it's not just water. And I went, yeah. And she explained to me about pH of water. And I thought, I'm not a scientist. I'm not, totally didn't know anything about that at all. And I'm like, pH, I have heard of pH. So there's a pH in water. And she said, yeah, because it's, from 1 to 14 and 7 is in the middle. It's the neutral and blah, 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 and on about it. I went, oh, I see. Okay. And she was saying about, like when you're taking meds, you would drink the 7 clean water, but that otherwise you would drink 8.5 up to 9 and then up to 9.5, like taking your time to get up to it, and that they each one is more, has more beneficial as you're taking them.
Mhm.
And so anyway, I literally took a leap of faith. I just thought I might be mad. I might be absolutely mad doing this. But I thought, okay, I'll do it. Because again, like I've said before, I did everything under the sun. I did everything. I went to everybody about my psoriasis, trying to get rid of it, and even just trying to get relief from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, okay, I might be mad, but I'm going to do this. So I started drinking the water, and my skin started to improve. I started in October, the end of October. This is last year. So I started to drink the water then, and so it was December. So the end of October, November, December. December, I noticed that my skin was kind of different. Instead of having the awful white scales, which anyone with psoriasis will know about, the scales were gone, and I just had like a pinkness, like quite strong pink color. And I remember thinking, wow, this is incredible. And then that was December, January, February. Yeah, then in February it was still pink, but a lighter pink. And then so February, March, I think it was April, it was starting to go completely. My arms were cleared up, and I had a huge patch in my back. So it was like down my spine, like the base of my spine, and then spread out over the cheeks of my, my bum, basically. And that had been terribly painful, because when I would sit down, it would scrunch up, and the scales used to all squeeze, and it was the most awful pain. And I was like that for years, and I'd be sort of sitting and I'd be trying to get comfortable. It was just awful. And then to sort of find this was starting to go. I was like, I can't believe this. But I'm trying to think when it was, but yeah, it was about February. Yeah, it was in February that I was told that if you actually spray the water onto your skin, it makes a difference. So what I was told to do, and I did, was I first of all sprayed with the 11.5, which is quite strong, but I sprayed my skin and the affected areas with the 11.5 and let that air dry. Then I sprayed with 2.0, the pH as I'm talking about now, pH 2.0, and I let that dry. And then I finished off with the 6.0, the beauty water. Yeah. Because that sort of brings your skin back. You're putting all these sort of those strong waters on, and then you put on the beauty water. It suits it. And I did that for a few months, and then my skin, look, there's my arm, and that is completely, I had it all over that area of my skin, and it's all completely clear. Wow. And my back, I will not show you, was exactly the same, but yeah.
If you could just post those pictures. Well, I actually posted them with the post.
Yeah. If anybody wants to see the photos, my Facebook page is Terry A. Binding. So it's Terry, Terry A. Binding. And you can see the photos on that for yourselves. And you won't believe when you see what was and what is. I look at it and I go, my goodness, I was like that and I'm like this now. I just find it incredulous, and I am so excited. And I keep saying to people, you've got to take that leap of faith. This is what happened. Look at these, just look at them and look at what they're like now, and yeah, I just really want to tell everybody. But I don't want to just tell people about the skin conditions. I want people to know how good the water is anyway. You don't have to have a skin condition. And I take it, I just feel so alive. And because the way it hydrates you, it's not that it cures you. The water itself doesn't cure you. But what it's doing is it puts you in an alkaline state, which then allows your body to cure itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it basically, puts your body into homeostasis. And, it's amazing how much stuff there is to learn about this water.
Yeah.
out there. A lot of people talk about the alkalinity of it, when really the alkalinity is just something that's by default. It
Yeah.
happens by default because of the electricity and the hydrogen. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's the hydrogen that's more important, because sometimes even when the water has a lower alkaline color, like it's not bright purple, but then you go and put an ORP meter in it, and you see that it's got a big electrical charge.
Yeah.
It's just lost a lot of its hydrogen out of there. Because you can see that, you know, when you fill up a glass and you see the cloud in it, that beautiful cloud of water,
Yeah.
and you just sit it there and you can just watch that cloud go away.
Yeah.
You watch it just
Yeah.
basically dissipating up into the air and going away.
Yeah.
And that's why I always tell everybody, if they are sick or if they have any kind of issues, to try, and that's really why they need the water. They need their own machine, because that way they can drink the water right out of the thing, and they get all that hydrogen gas that you can light on fire. Have you ever done that? You ever lit your water on fire with a lighter?
No. No, I did not.
That's cool. My loaner machine, my SD501, it's got a little melted spot in the end of the upper hose, because down in Tucson we had it down there with us, and I was showing so many people the fire experiment, and I didn't realize it, but I had gotten it too close, and the
Whoops.
fire was going back up through the water and melted the dang hose.
Oh my goodness.
But that's, you know, if you can, you will always do yourself a lot of really good by drinking the water fresh right out of the machine as much as
Oh,
possible.
absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing that I do is not just drinking the water for my health, because I love that. I mean, I am totally in love with my machine right now, and I take my water bottle with me. I have the Enagic water bottle, so I take them with me and drink if I'm outside, if I'm out or whatever. But what I also do, and I don't think people realize this, is that you can use the other pHs for various things. And you know, you can clean your oven with the 11.5, but you can also soak your fruit and vegetables in the 11.5, and you will not believe the color of the water when it's been soaking for a while, as opposed to using your tap water, which just stays clear because it doesn't take away the pesticides and insecticides and all the chemical rubbish that's added into our water, and is sprayed onto the vegetables and that. And it's, you know, that you put say, like we do it with the, you know, when people do the experiments, they'll get a punnet of tomatoes, and they will put like half in one glass and half in the other, so it's the same punnet, and they'll put that glass, get the water from the tap, and the other glass the Kangen water, and just leave it sit there for a few minutes. And it's incredible, this tap water one has stayed exactly the same color, and the Kangen water has turned a murky beige color, to be honest, a murky beige brown color. So it just shows you what's coming off the fruit and the vegetables.
Yeah.
So I do that, but then I get, say, the 2.5. And what I do is I put it into my spray bottles, got the Enagic spray bottles, and I put it into that, and I add a few drops of 100% essential oils. So at the moment I'm using cloves, and they smell gorgeous. And then I use that spray bottle and I just spray everything. So what I would have done in the past, where I would have sprayed the store-bought spray and wipe, I don't have that in my house anymore. I just use the water with the essential oils and I spray it, and I have a lovely subtle smell of, you know, scent, that clean smell in the house. But it's actually sanitizing and cleansing all my worktops, my benches, my you know, up here the windowsills, in the bathroom. I can do everything in the bathroom, the shower, the basins, and I can even do the toilets, and it actually makes the toilets really white. And then in the bedroom, every single room in the house, I can use this, and it's safe, and I'm not putting in toxic chemicals around my house, and I'm not breathing toxic chemicals either. And it's just absolutely incredible that the different uses for the different pHs, and I want people to learn that as well.
Yeah, you know, and another thing for people to consider as they listen to that comment from you and what you're using it for is that those chemicals are not being flushed down the drain and out into the water supply
Exactly.
and any of that either. And so, you know, this water can replace so much stuff
Oh, it's
that we're out
incredible.
there
And I
poisoning
mean,
the
the thing
planet.
about putting things down the toilet and that sort of thing, and that's so right, because by having this machine and by using it properly, like using it for drinking, using it for cleaning, and using all the different things, you're doing your bit to save the planet. You know, we're not drinking with plastic bottles and then disposing of it, and it ends up in the landfill or in the oceans. You know, so we're doing our bit. And if everybody starts to do their bit, it will cut down on the extreme waste and the ozone layer and global warming and all that. And how amazing is that we can do that?
Yeah. Well, we say our goal as the Kong family is to change the world.
Yeah,
A lot of times
exactly.
people think that's crazy when we say that, but the truth of the matter is that's what we're doing. We're
Yeah,
changing the world.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, you know, just one person at a time. Every single one of us does it. I mean, we all do things like we put out our rubbish every week and we put out our recycling and all that sort of thing. So this is just another way that we can help by doing this and stop the waste. And I mean, our bins don't look so big anymore because we haven't got so much stuff in it, you
Yeah.
know, and everybody can do that, you
Yeah.
know,
Like,
how marvelous to be able to do that.
I love that. This is the first time anybody on the show has ever really brought up the usage of the water. I think that's kind of cool. I told you guys this was a special edition. And yeah, you know, my wife and I, we haven't bought laundry detergent in 2.5 years. We'll never buy
Oh,
it again.
yep, that's the other thing actually. With the laundry, I haven't got like I used to use laundry powder. Now I don't have laundry powder. I put 2 liters of the 11.5 into the washing for clothes washing, and then I put some essential oils into the water and do my washing, and that's it. And they're beautiful. They smell so fresh and so clean. And again, you know, you're you know protecting the environment by not putting out the powders and things. You don't need them, and softeners, you don't need them. I also don't use hair shampoo or conditioner. This is my hair and it's just really soft. You know, and I just use the water. And I use a beauty 2.5. I stick my head under the under the hose actually, with the 6.5, and I just wash my hair with that, and then I just dry it, you know. And it's just like it feels clean, and there's no leftover stuff on my hair or anything. It's just, and the comb goes through it. Like I don't even have to get a detangler. It just, the comb goes through after I've used the 2.5. It's just amazing. And I've had people see me do that and they're like, wow. I had a hairdresser here the other day and I did it, you know, and she said, are you sure you're going to go in the water like that? And I said, yeah, I do it all the time. I don't use shampoos. I don't use conditioners. I just, you know, and I stuck my head under and she gave it a little bit of a rub and then she took it out and she was putting her comb through and I went through and she wasn't even, you know, struggling with it or anything. And she was like totally blown away by it, you know. Actually, she left that day with a bag of water and one of my cards. Woohoo! Yeah, really. She's going to go to the gym and bring my cards to the gym and everything. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. So,
Oh, I
yeah,
love
no
that.
conflict.
So I'm curious, just real quickly. Don't worry too much about this if we can't figure it out. But I was wondering if maybe you could try sharing your screen. See if you can do it. What you're going to do is you see the actual picture, like the TV screen picture that's
I
on your
just have
screen.
the Zoom.
If you run your mouse across the bottom of that screen, what
Oh,
should come up is stuff that like share, chat.
the
Um,
share. Yeah, it says share.
if
Do
you
I click
click
that?
on share, what that'll do is allow you to share your screen, and then you can go to those pictures on your computer, and you can show everybody those
Oh,
pictures of
I don't
yours.
think they're on my computer. They're on my phone.
Oh, okay. You know what you might be able to do in that regard, which would be even easier, is just bring them up on your phone and then just bring them up and put them right in front of the picture or right in front of your camera, and people will be able to see them. I've had people do this before. And that'd be cool if you could go through kind of a chronological picture of it and maybe describe what you were going through at the time, and, you know, just what you were, how much water you were trying to drink and that kind of stuff.
I'm trying to, oh, I know where they are. Hang on, in my photos. Oops, sorry. Photos, and then there's, I've got a camera roll. There's a way of doing this. I have to ask, go to albums. Ah, here we are. Okay, yeah, I've got this. This is in my, I have a psoriasis and eczema. I put on, I hope I don't make a mess of it. Can you see that?
Yep. If you put it up right up there next to your, and you want to turn the phone so it's more flat, because you kind of got it on an angle.
Oh.
And so just put it so that it's like see this? See how I'm putting my phone?
Yeah. I've only got one hand, so I'm using at the moment. And if you
can, oh, there you go.
There. Now that's what my skin looked like, used to look like. Can you see that all right?
Yep, you can actually see that pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. That's how bad my skin was.
And so you were spraying your 11.5 on it.
Yeah.
And 2.5 and then
the 11.5 first, and I just let it dry just a little bit. I didn't make it soaking wet. The 11.5. The other thing you can do, if you like, if you don't want to spray the 11.5, you can soak a cloth, like a towel, and put it on the area and just lie down and just leave it on that area for maybe 5 minutes, and then take the towel off, and then you spray the 2.5 and the 6. But that's the order I did it in. And like I said, it was just unbelievable. I'm still blown away by the fact that, you know, it was just water. I was like, Jesus, you know, but yeah, it's not just water.
I love it. I am so excited for you.
That was my back in the December. Whoops.
Yeah.
Wait, no, sorry, I can't.
There you go, right there.
This way, here we are. There.
Yeah, right
so
there. You can see it.
Like all the scale is gone.
Man, that is wicked. I remember my friend living here, and his skin looked like that, and I remember how much misery he was in.
Oh God!
So I can imagine what you were going through.
Why he won't go. There's my whoops. This is all back to front. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. There. That's my arm. This way. Oh God. Is that?
Unfortunately, there we go. There it is. There's you got the blinds open, and it's.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go. Yeah, you can see that big old red. Oh, yeah. Just imagine.
You can see the scale has gone, and it's starting to improve. Like it's just got that strong pink color. Yeah. You know, I mean, as I said, having gone from that's as many as I have, I think. But it just shows you that having gone from this awful scale, and it went everywhere, and I felt, you know, for years I felt really badly because, you know, I go to visit someone, and, you know, you have a friend, and they'll say, oh, hi, you know, and they give you a cuddle, and I'm like, oh God, you know, and I was like trying to shake the stuff off them, and, you know, then you go to someone's house, and they'd have a black couch, like a black leather couch, and I'd be sitting like this, and I'd be terrified to move because, you know, even just breathing made the scales fall off. And I would want to, you know, luckily I have good friends, because I would say, oh, look, just let me hoover it up the, you know, the couch or the floor. And they would say, no, don't worry about it, we'll do it later, you know, and they weren't worried about it. But, you know, if you went, like, even if I went to the doctor's, you sit in a doctor's chair, and then you get up, and it's like there's all your scale left behind, you know, it's everything. It was just awful. It was I mean, I can't tell you over 30 years how many times I cried, you know, because this thing just wouldn't go away. And
Yeah.
I mean, 30 plus years of this, and it just feeling like, oh God, I just felt like a leper, you know, that I couldn't, I was put on so many drugs. I was given lotions, I was given potions, and I was given creams. I had everything. You know, honestly, I spent so much money. As I say, I used to kind of joke because I had to keep a sort of humor about it because you'd go nuts otherwise. But I used to say I could have, you know, sponsored a small country with the amount of money I spent on this thing, on all this. And then it turned out that it was water that fixed it. I mean, I always used to say it'll probably end up being something really simple. And it was, you know, yeah, really and truly, it's crazy. You know, bloody water. Pure
Oh,
water. You get that, people? Water.
I just love it. You know, I love the sound of your voice. You know, I've always loved my friends that I've had from down under there, and the way they talk, and just the, you know, like the rubbish. That's funny. I love hearing that word, you know. And I'm just so happy for you, honey. I think it's just so fantastic that you
No,
are,
thank you.
you know,
Yeah.
because we know that this is what happens. And it's, I was telling Bill Mabry this morning when he was on the show that this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Of all the businesses that I've been doing, this has been the hardest one, because it's just so hard on your heart, because you know that you have the solution to people's ills and their problems, and they won't look, they won't listen, they don't care. It's just water. And no, I won't watch a 10-minute video, and, you know, just whatever. It's so sad seeing all these people who so desperately need this, and yet they won't even try it. And it's
I know what you're saying, because I went to a psoriasis support group that I was on, and I was sort of telling, look, I found this stuff. It's, you know, I'm doing this with the water, and it's amazing. And, you know, I showed them my photos. I said, here are my before and afters. Look at this. This is incredible. You know, please stop taking these drugs. And they just kept going to doctors and getting, and getting drugs all the time. And, oh, this drug isn't working. I need to use this drug, and I'm going to start on this drug. And will this one be good? Or have you had any success with this one? And I'm like, why are you taking these drugs? Because you start taking these medications, and all they're doing is they might fix something, but they'll start something else, and your psoriasis comes back anyway. They may give you a temporary fix, and then they're saying, oh, there's no cure for psoriasis. I'm like, that's what the doctors are telling you. Will you just do this, try this? And they just didn't. In the end, I actually left the support group, because I found it so frustrating, because I just thought they're just wallowing in the shit, basically. They just want to keep on wallowing and to keep on going with what the doctor says. You know, I mean, doctors are all right to a certain extent, but there's times they don't know themselves, and they're not trained to try something else. They're too afraid to try something else. They're just trained to do, this is how we do it, and this is how we do it, and this is whatever. And so they stick with that, but they're not, most of them are not prepared to try something else. And even though you can say, hey, look, I'm a walking example of it, would you not just try this? They said, no, that's rubbish. There's no scientific proof. And they keep saying that to me, there's no scientific proof. And I'm like, well, actually, there is. If you go to PubMed and if you go to Google Scholar, where your peers are writing, you know, there's all the proof you want, but they won't do it. I think they're afraid. They're afraid that people will get better and they'll be out of a job or something, you know. Like,
you
that'll
know,
happen.
oh, I'll tell you, that's my biggest pet peeve in this world. I mean, right here, this is my biggest pet peeve in the world. These two subjects right here. Here's World Without Cancer.
Uh-huh.
And here is Killing Cancer, Not People.
Not People. I must get that book. I would like to get that book. He's a marvelous man. Yeah, Mr. Wright.
At the end of that book, he said something that has always stood with me since I read this one. This my old tattered copy of the original version of the book.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he says something to the effect of, you now have the ability to live in a world without cancer.
Yeah.
And the only reason you have this ability is because someone out there somewhere was gracious enough to bring this information to your attention.
Mm.
Can you do any less for others? And it's really the same thing with this water. And, you know, interestingly enough, you'll like this. The roots of this book right here,
Uh-huh.
the roots of this book are in the same exact place on this planet that the roots of Kangen water are, and that's the land of Hunza, the Hunza Coots.
Hmm.
They're at the base of the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan. And the way Kangen water came about was Russian scientists and Japanese scientists went to the land of Hunza to study their water and their youthful age. And Mr. Ed Griffin, who writes this book, he went there and did studies and such about their apricot kernels. And you know, so apricot kernels, or bitter apricot kernels, are actually a very important part of the human diet as well, that I highly recommend. If you can grow apricots, grow them. Make sure they're bitter. You want those bits, the fruit is nice and sweet, but inside the pit is a kernel. You bust that kernel open with I like to use a pair of pliers and a hammer and just get the kernel in there and bang. Open it up, and there's a little nut in there that's like an almond, and it needs to taste bitter. Some people have a taste for them. Other people, just like me, I can't stand the taste of them. I hate them. I eat them every day.
Yeah, you get used to them, I suppose.
I'll have to show you. Check this out. I've got right here, I have a bag of apricot kernels.
All right.
These are from our trees in the backyard, and you know, it's just a little. These are
tiny,
not a ton of. It's just a little. Let me see if I can get it so you can actually see. Let me see.
Yeah, even there they are. Yeah.
Just little nuts. They're like an almond. These are little, because our apricot trees this year, we have dwarf trees.
Yeah.
Sort of, and you might as well eat those. But we had so many apricots this year that they were really small, because there was just absolute grundle of apricots this year. My wife made all kinds of stuff with apricots.
That's great.
But yeah,
you know, I have to say something. You're showing me those books, the books about, you know, the killing cancer, not people, and all that. That's something I wanted to mention, is that people I don't think they realize this, but the reason people have, say, for example, cancer, is because their bodies are acidic. All our bodies are acidic. We started out as kids and we were alkaline, like babies, we were alkaline. But because of the foods we ate and the drinks we drank and all the rest, as the years went by, it just built up and built up and built up. And so as a result, people are getting cancer. And the reason they're getting cancer is because their bodies are so acidic. The reason I had psoriasis was because my body was so acidic. The reason that people have any of these, any condition whatsoever, even if it's just migraines, it's because their bodies are acidic. And what our water does when we're drinking the 8.0 and the 9.5, you know, up to the 9.5, the 8.5 up to 9.5, our bodies are becoming alkaline. We need a little bit of acidity because you need acid in your stomach for breaking down your food. But the rest of our bodies, we need to get them to an alkaline state, and then our body is in a state to cure itself of all these things. That it'll, you know, the cancer cells will go away, the new cells will regenerate, so we will be in an alkaline state. Yeah. Does that make sense?
That's exactly what happens. You know, your body does need to be in an alkaline state. Your blood has to move right between this certain little area. Goes above, you die. It goes below, you die. Yeah, you can't let it do that. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting. There's another great book out there that I don't know if you've heard of this one. I'm in the middle of reading it right now. It's called "You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty."
Oh, I have heard of that, but I haven't seen it. But I heard somebody mentioned it the other day. Yeah.
It's only like $10 on Amazon. It cost me like $10.30 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to expand again on your story. Let's get back to you, because you are our super surprise guest today. One thing that we haven't touched on is we haven't touched on how much water you were drinking every day. I think you said you started with the 8.5, went up to the 9, and then up to the 9.5. And so you're drinking the 9.5 water?
I actually found, and this is something, not everybody can drink 9.5, and I can't. I did for a while, but I was finding I couldn't cope with it. It was too strong for me, and that's okay. So I've gone back to the 8.5, and then what I'm doing is I'll go up to the 9, and then go to because I really want to get to the 9.5. So for the past year, I have been mostly drinking the 8.5, but I do still go up and then go up again, like go up to the 9 and then 9.5. And they say to drink when you start drinking, the 8.5 and then wait about 2 weeks. Now sometimes it's 2 weeks for people, that's fine. Your body gets used to that water and then you can move up. With some other people it takes longer. You have to listen to your body and go with what your body is telling you, basically. So I found it took me a long time to get up to 9. I mean, when I say a long time, it took me a few weeks, more than 2 weeks. And then I got up to the 9.5. I ended up finding it too strong. So I went back to the 8 again, because that's what I was told to do, go back to the 8. So I did. And then I came up again. And, so I am, I'm trying to teach my body to accept it. But if it ends up that the 9.5 is too strong, I will stick to an 8.5 or a 9. And I'm happy with that. And, as far as how much you drink, you can, about 2 liters, maybe 3 liters. Some people I know drink 5 liters, and I think, oh my goodness, I don't know how they do that, but they do. They can manage that. I find it too difficult to drink that much water, but that's me personally. So every single person is different. We are all different, and some people can tolerate the 9.5 no problem, and that's marvelous. I would love to be able to tolerate it, and I mean eventually I hope I will be able to, but it's just a slow process.
What kind of, when you say tolerate it, what kind of effects do you have that makes it so you can't drink it?
I was detoxing,
Yeah.
really a really bad way, I know when I say bad way, like just lots, and I had to, it was okay like if I was at home, but I kind of had to be near a toilet. So it was too much for me in that sense, so I just cut back. But as I said, I'll just keep trying and see how we go. But if I end up have to be at 8, then I'll stay at 8 or 9, Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is, like, what kind of symptoms, like diarrhea, headaches, stomach aches,
I would
body aches?
find that, I would get a belly ache and think, oh God, I got to go to the loo, and I had to go rushing, and I would just make it in time, that sort of thing. So and that's very uncomfortable, and you don't want to be doing that. So as I said, I've just found coming back to the 8.5 is comfortable for me. So I can still detox. I can still get, because sometimes you might have a glass of wine with dinner or something, or, you might eat a certain food if you go out to dinner and things like that. And then you might find, that was really nice, but it's making me want to go, and I'll drink the water to counteract what I've eaten, but then I will go and eliminate and things like that. And that's important. It's important to do that, because if you don't eliminate, you get all bunged up, and then you start feeling really crook and feeling sick, and crook and sick, and that. So just to save that happening. I mean, I'm trying to be, I am actually pretty careful with what I eat now. And that's another thing, the water helps you. Your tastes actually change. Do you find that?
What's that again?
Your tastes actually change.
Um, I never had very good taste in the beginning. Anyway, the only thing I've ever had good taste in was getting my wife. That was all. But no, I really don't have very good taste. My wife will ask me to taste things that she's making and such, and I'm like, I'm not sure I'm the best person. She'll say, what do you think it needs? I'm like, I don't know. It tastes pretty good to me. I don't have a clue what you need to put in it to make it taste better, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
just I
salt.
found we have we have tea, like Dilma tea leaves, and I used to really love that tea. I was just used to drink loads of it, but just lately, and I don't know whether it'll come back or whatever, but just lately I've got, I don't want the tea. I'm not liking it as much as I used to, and I'm just giving it a break. Maybe I was drinking too much of it. I don't know. But just, yeah, as I say, I'm giving it a bit of a break. But I do like my coffee.
And I'm assuming you're making your coffee with the Kangen water, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. I use the Kangen water and I make the coffee and it tastes amazing. And I have beans and I put them in the machine and grind them up and have my coffee like that. So yeah, and I really enjoy that. But again, I'm sort of cutting down a bit, not having too much of it, and so I find that by drinking the water, that it's making me be maybe the water is just making me be more sensible about what I'm putting in my body, because it's a good thing that I'm putting in my body, so I'm more conscious of what I'm putting in. I'm more conscious about the things I'm eating. I'm not eating bread anymore. I've stopped that, because I find when I do eat it, it actually gives me terrible belly aches. And I think it's because of it's just full of gluten. So I've been having this thing. It's called little seed bread, and that is beautiful. And it's literally made of just seeds, like flax seeds and different seeds like that. And it is amazing. And I find I can have one piece of that, and I am full. I feel really full and satiated with that. So things like that, and there's things like around us, which like McDonald's and Burger King and all those sort of things. And I mean, I go by there and I can smell it and go, oh my God, I can't cope with the smell of them anymore, those places. And it's because my tastes and probably my smells, that just changed for the better. So I feel much, much healthier by eating better. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just eating better.
That is so fantastic. And like I always say when I'm posting things out on Facebook, when I'm sharing stories from other people and that kind of stuff, I always say this stuff's par for the course. This is how it works. This is what happens. When your body gets what it needs, it does what it needs to do to fix itself, And,
exactly.
I think it's just an incredible thing that, the way that, I'm just so happy for you that you managed to be able to be open-minded enough. And, I would say you were probably fairly desperate to find a cure, really.
Yeah. Oh, look, totally. Like I said, it was just all these, so many years. I mean, I kind of resigned myself, if you like, to the fact that this is the way I was. I had psoriasis and I had to live with it, and but when I discovered the Kangen water and then discovered what it could do, I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I've needed all these years. And it is such a relief. I cannot tell you that, having gone through that, where I again, I joke, but I used to say I'm the queen of camouflage, because I used to wear long sleeves all the time. I mean, I'm wearing long sleeves now because it's cold, but now I'm going to be able to wear sleeveless, and I'll be able to wear swimming suits in the summer. I'm going back home to Sydney for summer, so yay. I'm really excited about that. But I would be wearing sleeves right, covered up right up here, and making sure my hair was long enough to cover my neck and my hair, and wear bangs because I had psoriasis on my forehead, so I'd wear what you call bangs, like a fringe to make sure. And then of course the wind would blow, like we have very windy weather in Wellington, the wind would blow it, and I'm like, frantically pushing it down to hide it up and all that sort of thing. And it was just a nightmare because it just affected my whole life.
Yeah.
As I said, couldn't hug somebody, but I would have to shake them off, whatever, or sit in their lounge or be in their house or even my own house. And it was just, I just was getting, I just had enough of it. And it was depressing. It was quite depressing. I can understand why people would say I'm depressed, because you would feel depressed because you feel like there's no answer to this. There's no end to it. You can't do anything. But now you can. You can just get the Kangen water. It's so good.
I love it. I love your testimonial, honey. I just love it so much. You have one of the greatest stories ever when it comes to this water. There's all kinds of people who have recovered from cancer and heart problems and all kinds of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really hear too much about people going through what you have gone through. And I don't think people who've never had what you have, I never had it, but I had a really close friend who lived in my house for 15 years. And I saw what he was going through, and it hurt me to look at his skin. He got the scales all over the place and all that kind of stuff. And, whatever. I mean, it just was what it was. And I always believed that it was some sort of a nutritional issue. I never had a clue that it was electrolyzed reduced water. And so that's what it is. And, so we're pretty much, I got a couple more interesting questions. This is my favorite question to ask people that come on the show. Mm-hmm. You are at the grocery store, you're at the salon, you're out on the street, you're at the golf course, whatever, you get an opportunity to say something to somebody about this water, and you've only got 30 seconds or something. You basically just have a real short, like very little bit of time to tell them. What do you tell them? What do you tell those people?
Oh my goodness, I tend to wax lyrical. I know people have said, like, who knew that I had the psoriasis, and they go, "No, my God, you look so amazing. Your face looks, you look really lively." And I say, "Oh, that's just my Kangen water." And then they're like, "Your what?" And I'm like, "My Kangen water." And then they want to know what that is. And I say, "Oh, it's just, the water I'm drinking. It's specialized water. And it's, I'm making my body alkaline instead of acid." And, they're like, then you're piquing their interest so that, they want to know more and more. And then you can really tell them, into it. Excuse me. But I try and get sort of nonchalant, keep nonchalant, "Oh yeah, it's just my Kangen water."
Yeah, I love getting those different responses to that question. I've had a lot of people, say varying things about the water itself. A lot of people say, "Well, I really couldn't say much. I kind of need to find out what they're interested in." A lot of times they just want to, when someone's interested or they've got just a second, they take that second to try and figure out what the person is interested in. And, so it's always interesting what people have to say about, what they would say if they had just a few seconds to try and make an impression on somebody that might make them want to actually take a look. And because quite frankly, we both know that that's the hardest part of this thing, is getting people to actually take a real look and maybe even give the water a try. And, it's kind of interesting because we're going down here after we get off the show. We're going down to a friend of mine's house that's been using a very dear friend of mine. And they've been using our machine for 40 days, about something like that. And we're going down to get it back from them tonight, have supper. And they're like, "Well, we didn't notice any difference." And so we're we're not interested right now. And that's okay. I told her, hey, no big deal. I'm glad you gave it a try. And quite frankly, I think what will happen is it depends on how much they were drinking. Hopefully they were drinking lots of water and they weren't drinking anything else like I told them to. But they're going to, get off the water now. And they're going to go back to drinking regular water.
Yeah.
And now they're going to find out what the difference is. And that's kind of my goal with everybody is like, hey, even if you give it back and you're not ready to buy right now, once you start drinking these other waters that are out there, you're going to start noticing a difference if you actually drink this water like you should have. And, so that's one of the things. It's difficult having to go take that back and that kind of thing. But we have something really special right now. And you of all people, how special it is. You know it right here. You know it right here. You know it here. You know it right here.
Oh yeah.
In your heart. And that is something that's really powerful. And the next, like Dan Edlund likes to call it, the 3, 5, 7, 9-year plan. There's only one way that you can fail at Kong's Water, and that's to quit.
Yeah.
The only way.
Yeah,
that's true. The water, probably blow your mind to know that I drink 28 ounces of 11.5 water every night before I go to bed.
That's great because that gives you that melatonin to help you sleep and have a really good night's sleep. Yeah. Yeah, really.
I sleep so sound. It is so nice. I don't snore anymore.
That is so good. Yeah.
It is a wonderful thing. And, this water has been an absolute blessing to my life. And I know that it's been a blessing to your life. And
absolutely.
There's 2 things that I would like to end with. Number one is, I'd like you to tell everybody if you would like to, because one of my things about doing this show, one of my main goals of having this show is to interconnect people. And, because there might be somebody out there with psoriasis that, might even be a friend of mine or something, who knows, whatever, I don't care. But they might see this and they might go, hey, I want to hook up with her. I want to hook up with Terry. I want to get my machine from her. And if that's the case, that's fine. That's what I would rather someone do, because if somebody doesn't want to get their machine from me, I don't want them to get it from me. I want them to get it from somebody else if that's who they want to get it from, because it doesn't, you don't want people on your team who don't want to be there, in my opinion. But my goal is to get people who resonate with each other together. There might be somebody out there that watches this in the days, weeks, months, and years that go by, and they're like, I want to work with that gal. They, for whatever the reason is, they reach out to you, but the only way they can get a hold of you is if you let them know how they can get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of you? What kind of contact information do you want to give? Your Facebook information, your Twitter handle, your website, whatever. I don't care. You give out whatever you want, your phone number. That's completely up to you. But I just have one comment, as usual, to the people that are going to be hooking up with Terry. Make sure that if you send her a friend request or, friend up with her wherever or whatever, make sure you give her a message and tell her why. That you saw her on the Kong Family Show and you want to hook up with her. You want to be friends. You want to whatever. You want to learn from her. You want to get a machine from her. You want to pick her brain, whatever. I don't know. You need to give out what you want as far as people being able to get a hold of you. And I just want people to have the common courtesy of telling you why. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going out there on Facebook, a lot of really weird people sending messages and friend requests. And, so do her a common courtesy.
Marriage proposals.
Yeah. So how do they get a hold of you, Terry?
Well, if they're not going to go to you, JJ, and I think, it'd be amazing if they do for you. But if they want to talk to me and get in touch with me, I'm on Facebook. And as I said earlier, it's Terry, Terry, Terry A. Binding. It's Binding, Binding. and I'm there, and just, friend request me if you want to, and or just DM me, as they say, what is a direct message, but private message. And yeah, I'm pretty good at getting back to people, and can answer your questions, about what happened, or like you can see the my befores and afters, as I call them, the before and after photos as well. So yeah, Terry A. Binding.
And that's the best way for people to get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go, kids. I just want you to know that this isn't the JJ Surprise Show, the Kong Family Show. This is for all the family to take advantage of, not just me. I'm just the one that puts it on and tries to, tries to accomplish the amazing task of trying to find guests every day, which is turned out to be an extremely daunting task.
It's a bit of a challenge.
I'm a member of the Kong family. I can handle it. I drink Kong's water every day.
Hey,
and so
yeah.
The last thing I'd like to ask you, Terry, is if you have, I like to give everybody the opportunity to just give their, their parting, call it the parting shot. What, if you have, you got any last thing that you'd like to leave with the audience that's going to be watching this as time goes by?
I think take the time to try this water. And we have a saying with an Magic, and we say, change your water, change your life. And it really will change your life. Seeing is believing. So go try it and see for yourself. And I seriously think that once you've tried it, you will not regret it, and you will stay on it forever. It'll be just your go-to for water. You'll take it with you. You'll have it at home. But yeah, try it.
Yeah, I love that. That is they say change your water, change your life. They don't say change your water, change your job. Change your water, change your house. Change your water, change your shoes.
Yeah.
Your car. No. Change your life.
Yeah, and it will change your life. You will be surprised at how good you're going to feel, because it's the fact that the Kangen water gives the water its microclusters, so that means it gets into the blood cells and it gets up into your brain, which is the first place it'll go to. And it just makes you feel like, wow, I'm alive, and gives you that feeling, and then it goes right through the rest of your body. But because it's the small clusters, it can do that more so than filtered water or bottled water, because it's big clusters. So you'll get a little bit of hydration with them, but with this you get so much more hydration. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I love what you had to say when you said, after all this stuff I've tried, it was water.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's like, God, can you believe it? Something as simple as water, which we have around us all the time, and but it's putting it through the machines, and it's the right water.
Yes.
Yeah, it has saved my life. That's what I reckon. It's I just can't believe how good it's been.
I'm so excited for you, and I am so appreciative that you came on the show today. I think it's so amazing to be able to have a discussion with somebody on the other side of the planet. We're actually working it tomorrow. We're not supposed to work it tomorrow. Guess what? We're working it tomorrow today.
Yes, indeed.
I got to make sure to mention that when I post this thing up. When I get the recording up, I'll post it up on Facebook and tag you in it, and I'll send you the direct link, so you got the YouTube link, so you can share it far and wide. And
share as well. The more sharing, the better. Actually, the more sharing we can get, the more people we can get too, and tell them about this. And yeah.
If you run into anybody that has great stories to tell, please hook them up with me. And
I will. I'll have a look out for them. Yeah.
The reason I do this show is really simple. It was a story like yours that changed my life, and changed because I thought it was a bunch of BS and stupid and everything else. And then a story came across that was, you know, pretty crazy. And all she did was changed her water.
Yeah.
And because of everything I learned from reading these, I had to take a look. I hit that see more button. Yeah. And because of that, my goal is to try and share stories. And instead of doing it in print form, I'm trying to do it in visual form so people can actually see the emotion. They can, I mean, I've had several guests on this show that have made me cry. And it's,
but good that people actually, people tend to react better when they see something rather than reading something. I mean, there are people who will read, of course, but I think most people react to other people and react to what they have to say. And then it's kind of, it hits home for them then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, the more people we can get to, the more people who find out about this. I don't care where they get it from. I mean, I don't care whether they, you know, buy a machine from you or they buy a machine from Joe Blow or from Mary Smith or whoever. I just want them to get on the machines, and I want them to get onto the water. If they come to me, great. But if they go to you, great. I don't care. If they just have to get to somebody, and somebody they resonate with or whatever, and get them started on the water, and then they will just they won't look back. They just won't look back. I want everybody. I'm like Mr. What's his name? The Japanese man, Mr. Moshiro, isn't it?
You know, the man.
Yeah, he's so cool, and you know, he really is a cool guy. And it's like he wants everybody to have this water, like they have it, everybody in the world. And I feel, yes, I agree with you. I want them all to have it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are the Kong family, Terry, mm-hmm. And I so appreciate you being part of the Kong family. And I, just for clarification, anybody that has a Kangen water machine is part of the Kong family.
Absolutely.
Period. I don't care who they are. They're part of the Kong family. And I, you know, like, for example, this is how serious I am about that. You know who Tom Brady is, the American football player?
I don't, but tell me.
Well, he's they call him the greatest player ever, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I never liked him. I respected him because he is a great player, because he beat my team too many times. And so I didn't like him. I'm tired of him always winning and all that kind of stuff, right? And then I found out that he owns a Kangen water machine. And that it's a huge part of why he is 41 years old and still quarterbacking in the NFL. And he's won more Super Bowls than any other quarterback and that kind of stuff. But I like, no, I want to see him lose. I can't stand that guy, you know. And now that I found out he's got a Kong machine, I'm like, he's the Kong quarterback, you know. I love him. You know, I gotta love him. I just gotta love him. And so that's the way it is. People that have a Kangen water machine are part of the Kong family, as far as I'm concerned. And I want to help share their stories, because we never know whose story is going to resonate with who. Your story coming on this show might change so many lives as time goes by. When people hear your story, see your pictures, see what you went through, hear what you went through, feel what you went through because of this, they may very well go to that person like you or like me who they said, no, I'm not interested in it. But now all of a sudden they do like I did. They call their friend up and go, hey, brother, you know what? I think next time you're up here in town, you might want to bring me some information about that Kong's water, you know. And so it was a story. And so thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming in here today, taking your precious time to come and share your incredible story with the family, so that we can continue to share it out and we can accomplish our mission, because our mission is to change the world.
Absolutely. And I'm very, very grateful about it. I really am. It's like, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do you remember how it was that we're changing the world, by the way?
How it was?
Kong's water is changing the world. One glass of hydrogen rich oxygen saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box, one incredible, gracious guest, one amazing family at a time. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless. Have a great day on Friday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. You're watching cartoons or something.
I'm waiting.
That's right. It's tomorrow.
Yay.
I love it. What a classic thing. The working in tomorrow. What a great thing. I'm so excited about that. Thank you once again, Terry. Wonderful meeting you. Have a great weekend. God bless you and yours.
Thank you.
And, look forward to following your journey and, having you back on the show again sometime, maybe bring some of your friends or something as you have some good stories to share or something like that. Anytime you want to, you got something you want to share with the family, you're always welcome to just scream at me and say, hey, Jay, when can we make it happen again? I got something I got to share with the kids.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Love to have you. So,
okay. See you, Jay.
Thank you, dear. HooDeeHoooo! Do not forget your hugs. These are your hugs. This is a hug. HooDeeHoooo!
You take care.
Love you, honey. You take care now. We'll see you around. Bye for now.
Bye.